All right, Beis Hashem, Perek Yud. So, Lamaisa, this is very exciting because we're actually going back to some of the kashas that we asked all the way in the beginning when we discussed the dinim of a tzaddik, a beinoni, a rasha. We're finally getting a little bit more closer towards our goal in that case. We have some unanswered questions that, of course, we have to answer all the way from Perek Aleph, where we talk about a tzaddik and a non-complete tzaddik, a tzaddik gomer and a tzaddik she'eina gomer. That's number one. In addition to the idea, a continuation of Perek Tes, which was when we take the Ra and we turn it and transform it into the Toiv, right? So that's very much what we're going to be discussing specifically. V'hinei, K'sha'odom magibir nafsho elekis v'nilcham kol kach im abahamis ad shemegorish umevar hara shebo mechol al asmoli kemo shekosu v'ato ro mikibercha. That means when a person has worked on his nefesh elekis and he's gone to war with the nefesh abahamis ad gedei kach, until he gets to the level that he's, so to speak, migorish, he's divorced, umavara, he's destroyed, he's annihilated, hara shabai, the bad, which we know comes from the left side. In Perek Tes we saw that the passion of the nefesh abahamis comes from the left side of the heart, like it says uviato haromi kibercha, which is of course telling us about the chiyuv that a beis din has to eradicate completely the choy to the balavera. So the Tanya is taking that idea and he's using it on a deeper level, and he's saying that we have to be mavar, just like mavar the chometz, we have to mavar the rasha that is inside the ra, that's inside every single one of us in that case. Ve'ein hara nebach l'toy mamish. Now this is an important point. Zog the Heilige Tanya, the ra that we have inside us is not flipping. It's not transforming into toiv mamish. I lost count of how many times we're holding by the mamish, but you understand what I'm saying. Nikra, who is this guy called? Who are we dealing with? Tzaddik she'eina gomer. He's a tzaddik, but he's a tzaddik she'eina gomer. Why? But tzaddik v'raloi. He's a tzaddik v'raloi. Now I say he's called a tzaddik because he's matzliach to get rid of the ra, at least to a certain extent, from the left side of his heart, right? So he's got this Yetzer Tov, he's got the good side, but he's a she'eina gomer because it still exists within him. The ra is still there. It didn't turn into Tov. That's why he's a tzaddik v'raloi, because he still has it in him. In other words, just to be clear, the nafkamina between a tzaddik gomer and a tzaddik she'eina gomer is that tzaddik gomer has no havamina to an avera. It's not in a dictionary, it's not in his havaminas, he has no kavanas, no dreams, no ashifas, no shaykhas, b'chalal. That's a tzaddik gomer. A tzaddik she'eina gomer means he's worked in himself so much that what he's done is he's got rid of the ra, but he hasn't turned it into toiv. So it's still there, but it hasn't turned into toiv. Look what he says now. Dahainu. Sheyesh bo yadayin ma'at mizeh ra b'chol ha'smolim. He still has a shmek of this, ra that's on the left side of the heart. Ella, this tzaddik she'eina gomer, what has he done? Shekofov or bottle l'toiv machmas mi'utoi. It's almost like it's bottle b'roiv or bottle b'shishim. That doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. It's just bottle. It's nullified. That's what he's done. He's worked in himself to the madrega that he doesn't have to fight anymore. He doesn't have to fight anymore. V'lochein nidmaloi ki, it's to him it's like ve'yigosheu ve'yelech loi kuloi legami. To him it's like it's kilu gone. It's not like a daily struggle that he has. It's there, but it's not part of his struggles, which is why it's ki'ilu gone for him at that case over there. Which means, Lamais, if you think about it, when a person is born, right, everyone is born, whether you like it or not, with a certain amount of negative traits, right? People have certain types of, whether it's their laziness, which comes from earth, right? That comes from offer. A person has a taiva for materialistic things, for pleasures and all these things. That comes from mayim, that comes from water. A person that stum schmoozes, all garbage, all sorts of things like that comes from avid, that comes from air. And then a person has anger, a person has gaiva, and all the things that comes from aish, that comes from fire in that case. So even though the Yetzirah, the evil inclination, is within him, there's no shaila, at the end of the day, it's still called a tzaddik she'eina gomer because there could be some kind of struggle there. As it continues, avol be'emes ilu chola v'halach lo legamri kol ha'ra shabai. If all of the ra inside him would be gone, mamish, It would have been flipped to now be good. Let's explain. A tzaddik gomer is someone. By the way, again, for those of you that weren't here, Perek Aleph told us there are different categories of a tzaddik. There's not just a tzaddik. There's a tzaddik gomer, there's a tzaddik she'ena gomer. Nafkamina, what the Gemara tells us. Tzaddik v'raloi, tzaddik v'toivloi. We asked the kasha, why is it some tzaddikim have everything good in this world and some tzaddikim taka suffer? What's the reason that they suffer? And we answered again, it's a Gemara, it's a Chazal, is it tzaddik v'raloi. Why? Because it's a tzaddik she'ena gomer. That was the Tanya's teretz. Because he's not a full tzaddik, Mameli he's going to experience some bad in this world. So we're discussing now what a tzaddik she'ena gomer is. So as he explained, let's go again. He's turned the bad inside him, he's flipped it into toiv, into good. That's why he's called nikra, he's called tzaddik v'toivlai. He's tzaddik and he has a good life. Hu al yedei asoras habegodim hatsoyim legamri mora. It's a moed galoshen. He's removed the dirty clothing from him completely. By the way, just interesting how he notes, how he calls it begodim. You have to remember this, by the way. We sometimes do aveiros. We sometimes do the things we shouldn't do. It's not us. It's not intrinsically who we are. We have a beautiful, beautiful neshama. And a kind of neshama and whatever you do, it doesn't make a difference. It's irrelevant. And it's the clothing that we have. People sometimes define themselves or others by the clothing that they wear. Now, there is what to say about that. There's a Das Kelim Balatosus that talks about it by Yaakov and Esav, not for now. That clothing, yes, makes the person, not makes the person, whatever. But what he's telling us over here is that even the begodim that are dirty, they're not you. You can remove them. You can always change it. The person has the opportunity always to change the begodim, clean them, send them to the dryers and start afresh. The hainu. This is a very important thing. We're talking about over here at tzaddik gomer. What is the madrega adigdei kach? The hainu. Limois ma'oi betanugi oile mazeh. Leis anig bom betanugi bnei odom lemalois taivas haguf bilvad v'loi lavodas Hashem. This yid over here, when he gets to that madrega, is disgusted. He hates anything that has a shaykhus to pleasure in this world when it's not done for avodas Hashem. He hates anything. And his lashon is, it's mius, it's disgusting. This is the tzaddik gomer hates. He's disgusted by any tanuge oilam hazeh when they are being done to fill the taiva of the guf, not for avodas Hashem. These pleasures, we spoke about this, all come from the klipas noiga. They come from the sitra acha. So he hates that. The whole mashum is sitra acha, and anything that comes from that side, had tzaddik gomer, this yid, the tzaddik gomer, which we'll see the Balatanya says is kemat not negeya, it's kemat too high for us. Most people are not able to get there. That's not people's goal in their life. That's not what someone's whole she'ifa in life is meant to be. That's not your tachlis. That's not what your neshama was sent here. We'll see. You see how the Balatanya spells it out later on. Husoinoi betachlis asina. He hates it with the greatest hatred. Machmas, why? Goidel ahavosei laHashem ukdushosei ba'ava rabba b'tanugim v'chibi yasei rahanel. He loves, his love for Hashem is on fire. He loves the Rabboni Shalom. His Avas Hashem, his Ava Rabbah for Kedusha, is the most amazing thing. And because of that, he hates anything that's the opposite in that case. Just take a small example. When a person loves his wife or he loves his child, and someone comes along and hates that wife or hates that child, you are going to have beef with them. You're going to hate them. The more you love your wife, the more you love your child, the more beef you're going to have with that person. That's what the Tanya is telling us. The more that tzaddik gomer is into avodas Hashem and has this love for the Rabboni Shalom that's irreplaceable, he's on fire with love, the more he's going to hate anything that's on the other side of the chart. Ki heim zeh le'umas zeh. In other words, if you love Hashem, you will detest, you'll hate anything that's the opposite of Hashem. Anything that's tumah. Could say, like I said, Pasuk Keterim, Tachnas Sinas Seresim, Loivim Hoili, Chokvein Evdal Levovi. Or Kefi Eirach Goydel Ahava Hashem, and according to the value, according to the amount of Avas Hashem, Kach Eirach Goydel Asina, Lesitra Acha, Va'amias Bar Betachlis Ki Amias Uhepech Hava Mamish Kumoya Sina. So that is the tzaddik gomer. The tzaddik gomer is someone that has taken the ra inside him, he's flipped it to be toiv. There is zero ra. He has no havamina to aveira, he has no shaykhs to aveira. He's talking about a high level Rabbi said that's not negated to come out anyone in this generation. But upon him, that is what's called a tzaddik gomer. We're going to see Be'ez Hashem tomorrow, and we'll finish the parak where he talks about Tzaddik She'ena Goma Be'ez Hashem.